practice with him here in Tampa. You knowing what Greg's all about, obviously him knowing your offensive philosophy, advantage either way. I mean, how do you really look at what Greg does and recall that?
Well, there are some similarities to the system he ran here. I think it's a little bit different. A little bit more reliant on the personnel to just go play hard and play fast, and they certainly do that. They're physical, but they create a lot of challenges schematically as well. I don't know that it's a total recall from 10 years ago and going against each other in practice and all that. I think you just kind of have to analyze it for what they're doing now, because you could end up saying, hey, they used to do this, they used to do that, but they haven't done it. It's really not. I don't want to. We have enough going on with as young as we are to just kind of more or less prepare for what we've seen or what could come next type thing. As far as him with our offense, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of. He saw a lot of similar concepts the other day that I'm sure we either chuckled at or said, this looks familiar, I'm sure, but it's still, that we had different stages of what that offense was, and this isn't exactly that whole system or thereabouts of what we had in the past. It's a little bit different version of it now in a lot of different kind of subtle ways. So I'm sure it'll help them a little bit. I don't know if it helps us as much. I think I'm just going to kind of go off of what I see out there. But the guy is one of the best coaches of anything in the country. For them to have him as an assistant is obviously a giant bonus, which I think has been noted by their AD and their head coach several times. So it's obviously a tremendous challenge when you know the quality of coaching that goes on at that school on top of the players.
Coach, after watching film, what's your assessment of Sikowski and how he fared his first time out, strengths and weaknesses?
Well, the good thing, it's the first game for everyone, like we had said before. He really ran the operation well. We didn't have any issues with the clock. We had the one penalty. It was obviously costly, but it was an alignment issue. We didn't have any trouble in and out of the huddle, the substitutions, the calls, the shifts, the motions, just the general operation of the game, the things you CQ exchange, things that could come up. If you watch any of these games, first week, a lot of people had those problems. We didn't have any problems with that, so he did a good job of operating all that. We put, a lot on them. They created some challenges in terms of they blitzed an awful lot, a high percentage of the time. So there was a lot going on for him to kind of digest up there. We had prepared for a couple different systems, Oklahoma, where the guy was the year before, Columbia when he'd been the coordinator, what they'd done at Texas State the year before. So he had a lot to kind of digest as the game was going on, that hey, here's the mode that they're in and here's what we're going to try to do. So from that standpoint, I thought he did a really good job. I thought he was calmer in the pocket, threw more accurately at times than even he had in camp as far as leading guys on the run. And I think a lot of that had to do with he had some pretty good pockets. I thought he showed a lot of toughness. You guys had asked last week about when he takes his first hits. We didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. And right out the gate, it's a helmet-to-helmet cheap shot. As he's going down, and yet he bounced right back up. He got hit at the knees several times. However that goes for those guys. But got bounced back up as well. So and then the interceptions, they kind of all have their own little story to them. Two of them he got hit throwing. That didn't help. Certainly, the ball kind of just faded off.